I've been having a bit of back and forth with God. What is authenticity? What does it look like? What does it look like when you're building a brand to do that? And this is going to be with full transparency because that's the whole point of Sainted Savage, right? The whole point is to help men grow, build, be stronger in their faith with God, to lead, to just kill the flesh, protect, provide. That's the whole point. Another big reason I started this is when I was growing up, I didn't have that father figure to show me how to be a man. I looked at figures in the world like Elliot Hulse or Bradley Martin before he got weird. No offense. He's in the streaming world now and all that. But saying something like this isn't very cinematic or cool, or look at this edit. It's not very cinematic. This is just authenticity. This is just me going back and forth with you, just talking to you. And I've just been having such a hard time, a hard struggle, this tension in me where do I make this really cool, really dark looking, really cinematic, all these cool edits, and every time I say something it has to flow perfectly and the words have to be beautiful and has to make sense, has to have a clip and look cool? I don't know. I don't think so. I think there's a time for it. I think there's a place for it. But what I love most is authenticity, being real. And if you put so much performance behind it, the theatrics, I think it could get watered down, in my opinion. The point of this brand is to help men. That's the whole point, right? And yeah, on TikTok and social media these days, everybody loves these cool edits and everything looks hardcore. Everybody is putting so much into their CapCut templates and all this stuff and all this mess. And it's kind of the big reason that I haven't been making as much content as I want to, because there's so much pressure to make it perfect and have it be beautiful looking and just captivating. You know, you need to have a really good hook or else no one's gonna listen to your video. And I've just been struggling with that. I don't want to live like that. It almost turns into you're serving a different purpose with that. Are you trying to get views, or are you just trying to put out good content for people that you care for, that you want to help grow? Are you able to give out information and wisdom and knowledge the way you should be doing? And it's a struggle. There's a part of me that says, hey, why not you? And this will come off extremely arrogant. There's no other way to say it, but I 100% believe I have more to offer than a lot of these guys who have blown up in the social media world and the YouTube world and brands in general. I look at some of these brands and I'm like, man, first of all, that's cringe. Or second of all, you're not teaching men anything. You're not helping them be better. You're just telling them to lift really heavy, and that's cool, but how about be a man and provide for a family? And that's not saying every single man has to start a family, but there's qualities that just aren't being taught, aren't being trained up in the world for today's men. And that breaks my heart. And why not me to help change that? I know there's good men out there that are going to be pushing out the same kind of wisdom that I have, and I've suffered through a lot. I've grown through a lot. I was raised up in a way that I was so overflowed and poured into with knowledge and wisdom of the Bible and God, and I had to learn how to be a man on my own, but thankfully I had God to help me do that, that I know that I have the pieces that I could give to help these men change their lives. I've lived it, even when I was still a mess. And this will come off, of course, like, oh, are you trying to prove something, Manny? Or are you trying to flex or be prideful? But I have receipts. I've led multiple men's groups by myself. And of course, that was very unhealthy, but there was still fruit. I can show you hundreds of text messages, hundreds of conversations I've had with people saying, thank you, Manny, for taking that step, for jumping out, for leading, for helping me. Because of you, I was able to beat this. Because of you, I was able to grow. Because of you and all this stuff. And of course, at the end of the day, all glory does go to God, regardless. None of it would have happened without him, but he used me as a vessel to do that, which I'm extremely grateful for. So if I'm able to lead in that capacity and make an impact in people's lives like that, why not do it on here? Why not me do it on here? Why should I let some other guy who's saying, make money, get girls, get the house. Why should I let him get all the views and promote all this stupidity of the world? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with making money and getting a house, cool. Don't pursue women like that, it's not worth it. Of course, we'll get into all that later. But I can't let this fear or this stress of perfectionism ruin the calling that God has on my life. Because it's been a burning desire. It's been a burning passion. Like, no matter how much I try to avoid it or ignore the responsibility of leading in any kind of capacity, it just keeps coming up and I keep getting shoved into these roles. And I just recently moved to a whole new state. I just moved to a whole new place by myself. God did miracles on its way for me to get over here. And I'm already just in a couple sessions speaking to pastors, and they're saying, hey man, I would love to see you get involved and we need more men's groups. I'd love for you to start doing a men's group. And I'm like, I just got here. We've had a few conversations and I understand they're very deep and very theological, and we all understand each other. And this is multiple different churches that I've been to and had these conversations. And it's just incredible how doors are just open right away without me even trying. I'm not even pursuing these kind of roles. And this isn't anything drastic. I'm definitely not going to be any kind of pastor or anything of that sort. But I know that I have the ability and capacity to lead men. I have the wisdom, I have the knowledge, I have the discipline. I know how to contact people. I know how to reach their hearts and how to really, really make an impact on their lives. So why not me? And this kind of video, a few weeks ago, I would never make this kind of video. It's just cringe. It's just me sitting here yapping. I need to put some stock footage on here or some B-roll, whatever. It has to be me fighting or some guy fighting and some guy lifting weights or something cinematic. But what's all that for? Because if you're not even willing to sit down for 5-10 minutes and listen to a man have these deep, authentic conversations with you, then you're not my target audience anyway. Let's be honest. Because this is for the men that are scrolling through YouTube, scrolling through social media, and they want to be impacted. They want something to change. The thoughts that I have are, some guy's going to look up on social media how to beat lust, or how to beat anxiety, or how can I find my identity as a man, and hopefully one of my videos will come up as I produce more and more and more. And those are the ones that I'm trying to reach. Or maybe someone stumbles upon it and they watch it and they say, wow, that is me. I need to listen to this. I need to apply this. I need to change my life. And that's the goal. That's the purpose. It breaks my heart. And just for example, yesterday, I was out and I saw, I want to say he was like maybe 19 or 20, this kid, right? And he's out in the Square Plaza area that I went to for food. And he was obviously trying to build his confidence. He went out, he's fixing his hair, he's taking selfies and stuff, and he's like looking around, seeing who's looking at him. And you could tell he's trying to build it up. He's trying to build his confidence and grow and just get out there. I don't know if he tried to speak to people out there, but I could tell he was just trying to prove himself in one way or another, or improve himself as well. And that broke my heart. And I see a lot of boys or men like that, and it breaks my heart every single time. Because if they had a figure in their lives to teach them how to do that without having to put themselves in these situations, life would be so different for them. Incredibly different. I didn't have the greatest opportunities in my life, but God still blessed me with certain gifts and talents to be extroverted and to make friends. So I can't relate to his circumstance 100%, but I can relate in some aspects. And I know that if he had a good male figure in his life, he would be a completely different man. Probably healthy, strong, confident. He wouldn't be out there by himself. He'd go talk to people, make friends, and it'd be a different life for him. And those are the ones that I'm trying to reach. And every single time I'm out in the world, I see someone like that. Someone who's overweight, or someone who's struggling, or someone who couldn't pay for their gas. And it breaks my heart. But I know if they had the qualities that I could teach them, their life could turn around. Because I've been there. I've been broke. I've been overweight. I've been heartbroken. I've been abused. I've been taken advantage of. I know. And if I can beat it with God, then you can do it too. We have the same God. It's the same Holy Spirit that lives in God, in us, in me, in you. It's the same Holy Spirit. It doesn't matter. There is no junior Holy Spirit. There is no this kind of, it's the Holy Spirit all across the board. You have the same power with God that I do. It's only up to you on how much you want to use it. You are the only limiting factor in your life and nothing else. But that's getting too deep. We're going off topic here. Look, the point is, I don't like the performancism that's in the church. I don't like the performancism that's on social media with all these Christian influencers and speaking in Christianese and making it sound nice, and they make it sound cool and say all these hot words and all these things. I don't care. This is real. This is real. And we're going to get into the hard stuff. We're going to talk about real things. Men need to grow up today. We need men of God. Everybody wants to hate on women. Oh, there's no good woman anymore. There's no good men. There's no incentive to be a good woman. They're going to go be promiscuous because they can't find a good man. Blame yourself for that. Oh, I can't find a good girl. They keep breaking my heart. That's your fault. You chose them. I lived it. It's my fault. I chose that girl. I allowed it. I disobeyed God. That's my fault. Take accountability for your actions. We're getting off topic again. And this is just the authenticity part, right? This is just how it's going to go. But of course, I'm going to try to lock in on a couple topics every other video and pour the wisdom that I have. And I don't want to make it too fancy. I'm not going to make these crazy edits here and there. Later on, we got some clothes going or something like that, maybe. We'll see. But the purpose is, I want you guys to know me and know me deeply, so you know who you're talking to and why you should take my advice. And as I share my testimony and I share the stories of how God moved in my life, you'll say, wow, I can trust this guy because he lived it. And God made a way for him, and God provided for him, and God did miracles in his life. God healed him. God gave him these gifts and abilities. And it's all going to come off really arrogant, honestly. Honestly, there's no way around it. But it's up to you on how you want to receive it. I have the wisdom and knowledge regardless if you want to receive it or not. That's up to you if you want to take that gift or not. Because I have it. God gifted me and God blessed me because he's just that good. Not because I'm just that smart, but because he is that good and he gave me those gifts. He gave me those suffering. He gave me those horrible experiences so I could grow and learn. And you could look back on it and say, God, I wish I never went through that, but I'm glad I did. I've learned so much through every single piece of suffering that I've gone through. Every single piece. Even the recent ones that I've walked through. But God is still good regardless. So that's it. I just want to be authentic. I want to be real. And from here on, it's going to be a different kind of video. It's not going to be something cool, and I'm not going to be here trying to be careful on how I say my words. To an extent, there has to be wisdom, of course, and self-control on how I speak and what I say. But it's not going to be scripted. I'm not here using AI trying to help me build scripts. It's just going to be real. It's going to be just me going. I was struggling today with the whole idea of me just talking to a camera because I do best when it's face-to-face with a person and I can actually see their feedback and their body language. If I'm speaking to an athlete on how to beat lust, it's going to be completely different to when I speak to a non-athlete who's lazy and hasn't accomplished anything in his life. Because I could give different examples and different ways to beat it, different ways to target it. Discipline for the athlete obviously makes sense. They're an athlete. Discipline for the lazy person doesn't make sense because they're lazy. So they have no discipline. So you can't translate that into beating lust, even though they both deal with it, right? And when I say these messages and I give this wisdom and knowledge, it's going to be very different for each person. So I'm going to be hopefully intelligent in how I do it, and hopefully God speaks through me, and I can target it directly to help men in different categories, in different walks in their life, in different places of their life. There's going to be guys I'm talking to who are 12 years old who are on YouTube, guys who are 50 and saw it on their recommended, and maybe their life is a mess too and they need some help. So I'm just praying God moves, and I know he will because he's called me to it, and anything he called me to will succeed because God is in it. So I'm very excited, and I'm very blessed and grateful. The whole transition here to a whole new state on my own was a miracle from God, and it was also obedience. And I'm just going to be obedient now. I keep trying to do it my own way and my own things, and God's like, no, just go. Just do it. I'll figure out a way. One of the big reasons I moved out of state was a message that I heard from one of the pastors in Vegas. And he's talking about the story of Abraham. And he said, just go. Leave the tent and go, and I'll provide a way. And I was listening to that like, wow, I just need to go to a whole new state. Just go. And God will make a way as I'm there. He provided the entire way there. I did not go a day hungry. Not one, except for fasting. But God is that great. He is that good. He does love us, and he has great plans to prosper us, and that's a promise. Even if there's suffering along the way, he has good things for us. So, boys, I love y'all. For the few that watch it, we're in just the beginning stages right now. So as we grow, as we learn together, as we heal together, as we grow stronger together, I'm excited to see what God does in our lives and how we can get this movement going. And hopefully, through sanctification, get these men to be savages, right? We're supposed to be saints, savagely pursue the kingdom. I'm excited. God bless y'all. Love you guys.